What's up, guys? Welcome back to Ccino Cast. This is episode 2. It's been a long time since we recorded episode 1, but this one we're going to be talking about friendship. We're going to be talking about stories about friends. So the last one we did stories about school. This one we're going to do stories about our friends. So, yes. Nathan, do you have friends?
I have many a friend.
I have many a friend.
I don't know the exact number of friends, but I have a good amount.
That's great. That's grand.
I've been blessed with good friends.
All right. Well, how about you get things started? What's your first friend story?
The first friend I ever had.
All right.
The first friend I ever had was where I used to live. Let's call it Oldstown. And in Oldstown, in school, I met a kid. It doesn't matter if I say his name, Adam, right? And me and Adam, we were chill, right? We were cool. We were cool. I went over to his house once. And he had a pretty cool house. He had a trampoline. I jumped and went. I don't remember. I was in I was really young. And then, because he liked Legos. I think it's because of him that I'm actually into Legos now. He had a Lego Death Star that was really cool. And I remember being in his room like, "Oh my god, that Lego Death Star!" And he's like, "Yeah, that's a Lego Death Star." You know, like whatever. And then after I went to his house, I never talked to him again.
Damn.
I don't. I think he moved away, but it'd be kind of funny though if it's like just after that, so he's just like, "Hey, you want to hang out again?" I just look at him, just like, "No,
you're lame.
Yeah, you're stupid." Well, that was my first ever friend, and I didn't make another friend for a long time.
Okay.
I think maybe I made like a quote unquote friend with this kid named Matthew, who invited me over to his house for a Halloween party, which was fun, until he punched me in the stomach because I didn't bring a tech deck to school, and I kind of quit being friends with him after that.
Well, he wasn't the one that punched you.
Well, it was...
He held you back.
He held me. So, this context, it was during second grade. We were able to bring in, like, a little doohickey to class, like a toy or something. And I had these McDonald's Happy Meal tech decks that were Clone Wars themed. And I brought them in because I thought they were cool. And this guy, the kid Matthew had talked to, me and him would just be doing like whatever with the tech decks. And then the next day, I came in. He's like, "Yo, did you bring the skateboards with you?" And I was like, "Did you bring these skateboards with you today?" And I went, "No, I didn't bring the skateboards this time." And he was like, "Why not?" I'm like, "Cause I didn't feel like it or whatever." And he was just so pissed that I didn't bring these skateboards to school, that during recess, him and this other kid, Trevor, Matthew's like, "I got his arms," and then Trevor just punches me in the stomach. And then I remember being like, "Eh!" And then it was very sad. I cried. I don't know if I cried or not. But I never talked to him again because of that. And I think I told somebody that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because, some kid punches me because I didn't bring a fucking tech deck to school. But the first real friend I ever made.
Well, and you got the last laugh because the kid that punched you, is dead now.
Well, that's not. Yeah, that's not like a laughing thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing around.
Bro got hit by a car. But the first real friend I made is my good friend Sam. We became friends in third grade, and we've been friends ever since.
Yep. Still friends to this day.
Yep. He's a cool dude. I think he's gotten a lot, like, back then he was kind of like obnoxious.
Wow. Sam's gonna watch this and
I
hear
don't
you
care.
say
He
that.
probably knows.
Yeah.
He was super obnoxious back then. Now he's gotten a lot better. He used to be super loud back then too.
Well, he was a kid, Nathan. He's an adult now.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, like over the top, like obnoxious loud, not like kid loud, but I mean like just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he's gotten a lot better now. He's a cool. He's chill. And then after him, I didn't really become friends with anybody for like a while until 6th grade when I met my good buddy Logan and Christian. We had homeroom together, and it was funny. And then everybody else, I don't remember exactly when I met them. I just kind of met them because they were friends with people I was friends with already.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of funny because my best friend, Vinny, me and him don't remember how we became friends. I think one day I asked him, like, hey, so do you remember how we became friends? Like, when and how? He just kind of looks and he goes, no. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I don't remember either. But I'm very fortunate. I like my friends. They're a bunch of chill dudes. I've been over to their houses many a time. They've been over to my house many a time. Went on vacation with one of them many a time. And did a lot of cool stuff. I can't really think of any, like, stories at the top of my head right now. I'll think of some while you talk about your friends.
All right. So, my best friend. Well,
Hold on, brief interruption. I'm gonna open a nice cold Coke.
okay. So,
Yeah.
I think I'd like to say I have two best friends. One of them, his name is Tyler, and the other one, his name is Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
So Tyler, I met because he moved in to where in our neighborhood. This was 10 years ago,
That is true.
and
It's gonna be close. Almost gonna be close.
next
to
month
the
will
day.
be 10 years.
Yeah. That's weird to think about.
And so, because back then, because I was 10 years ago, I was 13. I'm 23 now. And we had just come back, our family had just come back from a vacation in Florida. And our next door neighbor, Brody, which I haven't talked to him in a while. I wonder how he's doing.
Yeah.
I see him over there sometimes. He's really tall. He might be taller than you now.
Yeah, which is crazy. 'Cause I'm 6'2".
Yeah. You're 6'2". I think that's your probably. Have you gotten to 6'3"?
I haven't measured in a long time.
Okay. Nathan's 6'2", 6'3", and he might be taller than you.
I think he is.
Because I know you're the tallest of our friend group.
Yeah. Me and Vinny are close.
I'm one of the short. I think I'm the second shortest.
Oh.
Sam is the shortest.
Damn. Oh, sorry.
I might be taller than Logan. I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know.
I'm 5'8". I'm pretty short. Like you and I, you
Laughing.
you and I standing next to each other. It's a big difference. Like if some of my coworkers are like, "Is that your older brother?" I said, "No, I'm the older brother. He's 2 years younger than me."
Yeah.
He said, "How is he the younger brother?" I'm like, "He just got the height gene.
He got.
Just because he's taller than me doesn't mean he's older than me."
Yeah. I mean that'd be. I mean, I understand if I had like a beard and you didn't. You think it would be different because like that was when you had like, you know, the beard going. You think it'd be the opposite because usually if you have facial hair, people think you're older.
Well, I have facial hair. I just have a mustache now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying like. Usually, if you have like a beard going,
I mean, you could see in that picture in the bottom left. I literally took that picture 5 minutes before we started recording this.
My picture I took like a year ago.
But
I look the exact same, so I don't need to make a new one.
But back to Tyler. I remember Birdie came over with Tyler and said, "Hey, that's our new neighbor. His name's Tyler." And I didn't like him at first. Now, it's so funny because you have like these two guys. Like usually when you're really good friends with somebody, it'll be like, "Yeah, I didn't like you at first." That's usually how it starts. I didn't like Tyler at first because he was like he was like kind of a jerk to his brother, but but it's just like a sibling thing.
Yeah.
Because you and I do that.
Yeah, we do that.
And I was worried because I was like, oh, he's gonna be one of those like jocks. He's like those jocks at school that are just jerks. So
it's hilarious because Tyler, I think, is quite literally the nicest guy I know. It's like,
well, it was. I remember my mom's like, "Why don't you want to go out there with a new neighbor?" I said, "I don't like him."
I don't like him.
I said, "He's got anger issues."
He's got anger issues.
That's what I said. And then after I was like, "All right, I'll hang out with him." And 10 years later, I'm still really good friends with him, and he's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And I actually just went to a NASCAR race with him a couple weeks ago. If you go to Drafting to Victory on YouTube, you can find that video. And then my other best friend, Ethan, I actually just hung out with him today. I met him... Huh?
I said no.
Okay. I think I met him I befriended him about 9 months after I met Tyler. It was at the tail end of 8th grade. I think this was like the beginning of June of 8th grade. And he and I, because me, Tyler, and Ethan all had gym together in 8th grade. And every morning, our teacher wanted us to do these warm-ups with a partner. So I would want Tyler to be my partner, but Ethan would also want Tyler to be his partner. So Tyler was tired of being in the middle and said, "Okay, that's it. I want you two to get to know each other."
I'm tired of having to deal with you two bond.
So we did bond, and we became really good friends. Had a bit of a falling out at the beginning of 2020s, but now we're back at it. Yeah. And really, really good friends. Ethan's a really cool guy. He and I'm really good friends with Ethan because I think he and I both have like the same likes and dislikes. Like we both like the same music. I think he's like the only guy I know that likes the same music that I do.
Yeah.
Because I'm the guy that likes, Slipknot, Trivium.
Ooh.
I also like other music that's not like that, but I like I also like that kind of metal. And Ethan is the only other guy I know that does.
Yeah.
And we both really love college football. We're both huge Michigan fans. Tyler really likes football too, college football too, but he's a Notre Dame fan.
Oh no. You're gonna get stoned in the street.
But Tyler and I bond for... Tyler started to get me into NASCAR. And that whole thing started because since we've lived in the same neighborhood for the past 10 years. Last year I started going to his place for NASCAR races, and it just stuck with me.
Yeah.
And
you going out to bumfuck and go watch NASCAR.
Watch some NASCAR. And went to a race this year, and it was awesome. And I'm definitely we went to the Michigan race this year because that's where we live in Michigan.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, we'll go to that one. And it was awesome. Definitely want to go back next year.
Well, I'm glad.
And Ethan and I are going to a System of a Down / Avenged Sevenfold concert in September.
You get to watch they bomb the city. They
bomb the city. They went... They went. They went. Oh. That's pretty much System of a Down's music.
That is true. System of a Down's great though. But
You used to hate System of a Down, and now you really like them.
I do.
Anyway, but
Like bomb or something.
they went. They went. Oh.
They went. Oh.
And another guy I'm really good friends with, and his name is Braden. He's actually of the four. Me, Tyler, Ethan, and Braden are kind of like a. That's like the four, like the group of four.
The four amigos.
Because we were in the same grade. Braden's the first one I met. I met him in 6th grade in wood shop.
Yeah.
And he and we were friends, but we weren't super close in high school. I didn't become really close with Braden until after we graduated.
Yeah.
Like, I've gotten really close with Braden this past year.
Yeah.
Because of baseball. He'll come over for NASCAR as well. He went with us to that race. And
I forgot about him.
huh? Yeah, Tyler forgot to mention him.
Yes, I'm here at the Evan, and there's a track.
I'm like, oh, I guess Braden's not here.
Oh, I forgot about Braden.
But the four of us in June of 2023 went on a trip to Pentwater, Michigan, and it was a good time. We were there for about 5 days. We did a lot of fun stuff. If you go to my friend Ethan's channel, Player One, he has a video about that trip if you're interested. But it was a really good time.
Yeah,
we'll need to do something like that in the future.
I thought of a story.
What's your story?
So, this is the story of one of the most strange, birthday parties I ever went to. This is the story of I went to this birthday party with this guy. He was kind of like my acquaintance at the time. I mainly went because my friend Sam was going. It was for Lucas' birthday. It was his birthday.
Is this what I think it is?
And
Okay.
I get there, and we're just hanging out, doing whatever. And then, playing Smash, because Smash was real, I think it was about, not long after, it came out.
Smash Ultimate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real popular. We were playing that. And then...
So you were a freshman when that game came out? Because I was a junior. So, yeah, you were a freshman.
Yeah. So... hanging out, doing just whatever, and then we go outside, and he has a trampoline, and we're all just bouncing on the trampoline, just doing whatever. All of a sudden, one of the guys that was there, his name was Josh. He wanted to for some reason he just wanted to just start a trampoline fight club, so everybody would have to fight on the trampoline. He's like, I want to fight somebody. And we're like, alright, so we just had him fight somebody in the trampoline. Jump around and fight.
Okay.
And then we get back, and then his brother, Lucas's brother, was like, hey guys, you guys want to play Super Hot VR? So we went upstairs and started playing Super Hot VR. And then after we played Super Hot VR, we kind of just hung around a little more. Then it was time for bed. He didn't have very good sleeping arrangements.
Yeah, this is what I think it is.
So we were all pretty much condemned to sleeping on the floor. And then we also got in trouble because we had Alexa play Ram Ranch. And his mom came down in the middle of it.
18 naked cowboys sucking each other's cocks. Oh my god, why would you do that?
Because we're dumbasses. It's whatever.
No, you were a freshman. Makes sense. You were 14.
So we had a bunch of people there, and so Lucas slept because we were in the basement. He had his room is in the basement, so he just slept on his bed. And I think I brought a sleeping bag, so I just slept on the floor. I think Sam also had some kind of floor. For some reason, these 6 dudes, there was one inflatable mattress that was there. For some reason, these 6 guys decided, let's do a sleep pile. So they get the air mattress. They had 3 of them sleeping on the floor with the air mattress on top of them, and then 3 guys on top of the air mattress.
It's okay.
And then we were like, "There's no way you guys are gonna be able to go to sleep." They actually somehow fell asleep, and I remember getting up the next day, looking over and seeing them in the sleep pile. Oh my god, they actually committed for the entire night in this fucking sleep pile. And one of the people in the sleep pile I knew, it was Christian. I think like it was like 2 days later. We were at school and we were at lunch. I'm like, "Hey, so how are you after the sleep pile?" He's like, "My body is still aching." Like it's just he's just extremely sore from sleeping in this fucking sleeping pile.
I don't know why they would do that.
Because they're dumb. I don't know.
That's true.
But yeah, that was just like, and I'll never forget just waking up, looking over, and seeing just these 6 dudes just sitting there sleeping. Like, oh my god, they actually committed to the sleep pile. Oh man, that was pretty funny. This is sleep. I don't remember whose idea it was. It was just, "Hey guys, let's get in the sleep pile." Okay, 6 dudes committed.
So back when we were younger, whenever like sometimes Ethan and Tyler would come over and they would sleep over. Well, this one time, Braden was there too, and it was rare because in high school, Braden played baseball, so he was always busy with that when he wasn't in school, because he did travel, because he did for the school, and he also did travel ball.
Yeah.
And so the one time he was over, we were in my room, and Tyler kept messing with Braden, saying that he could see his forehead. Because Tyler made a joke, Braden has a big forehead. So Tyler kept saying, "I could see your forehead." So at one point, Braden got mad. Tyler was sleeping on a cot. Braden got up and flipped his cot over. He warned him. He said, "I'm gonna flip your bed if you mention my forehead again."
Flip your bed. And he
did.
He committed. Yeah, you know what? Shout out.
But I think the funniest night when it was just me, Tyler, and Ethan in my room. I was in my bed, and Tyler and Ethan were like on their own little foam mattress, and then we had shrimp tacos for dinner. And I guess it didn't sit well with Tyler because he just kept farting, and literally. That night, Tyler kept farting like every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey guys, guess what? What?" It was like, or my favorite line, he said, "Hey, you want to hear something radical?" "Well, yeah, what?"
Yeah.
Like, all right, man.
Oh, God. Hey,
you want to hear something radical? Yeah.
Yeah, me and Vinny went on. It was like a little tiny, trip to Detroit because we were gonna go see the Tigers play the Orioles, and so we go, and it was pretty fun, just being there, and Hotel set was pretty fun as well. But the main bit that I think is hilarious was we went to a Red Robin, and we just ate there, just whatever, and then woman comes by. She has a shirt that's like a star on it. It's like the pride flag or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, hope you guys had a good day or whatever. And it's like, okay. And they had a little thing. It's like, would you like to leave a anonymous review of your waitress? So as for a bit, I put down on the review thing, just they're wearing a pride shirt. Ew.
Damn. Why would you do that?
I mean, honestly, It's not like it's like it messes with like their tip or anything.
Yeah.
But it's just like that's literally all it was for. Was just so the review, because it's anonymous, just the review, and then I think Vinny put something along the same lines of like the same thing of like or whatever. But no, I think what he put was our waitress made fun of the greatest baseball team of all time, the Orioles. It made me cry or something.
Well, the Orioles do suck. But anyway, you know that meme? It's like a friend group always has that one guy that rarely shows up, but when they do, it's legendary.
Yeah.
For us, that's our friend Connor.
Yeah.
But it's not because he doesn't like showing up. It's because he literally lives like across the country.
Yeah. It sucks though, because he's hands down like the coolest guy I know.
Yeah, I know. Like every time I remember, I think my favorite memory with hanging out with Connor was when it was me, you, Connor, and Vinny at Vinny's house, and we were showing Vinny Deltarune for the first time, because at this point Vinny was like a Undertale / Deltarune hater because he loves Earthbound, and he's like, well, this is just an Earthbound copy, because Toby Fox was inspired by Earthbound for Undertale.
Yeah. And
we showed him Deltarune, and after we were done, Vinny was like, okay, that was actually really good.
Yeah.
And now he really likes the games. But I remember when we were going through Deltarune Chapter 2, that was really awesome. I also remember it was the day after you guys graduated high school, and we had that party to celebrate. I remember Connor and I went into town to get to pick up the pizza we ordered, and I remember we were listening to Undertale music on the way and back, and kind of like, dude, we gotta listen to this one, you know. And then I remember I drove by a gas station, and this was like a few months after Russia invaded Ukraine, and so Biden wanted to put all the money into that, so gas was like I looked, it said it was $5.25 a gallon. Yeah. That's still the most expensive I've ever seen it. Well, in Michigan. Yeah. That's as bad as it gets over here, but it was just really weird. But yeah, Connor's awesome. He also showed us Henry's Kitchen. I think that was the last time we hung out with him.
Yeah, it was.
He showed us Henry's Kitchen, and it was awesome. You guys need to go to YouTube, look up, after you're done watching this, of course, go to YouTube and look up Henry's Kitchen. It's awesome. Every single person I've showed that to thinks it's really funny.
I think my favorite memory with Connor was prom. Me and him and Vinny went to prom.
Oh, yeah.
Because, prom, you're supposed to go with a date. Well, none of us had dates. I said, you know what, fuck it. Let's go and just be boys and hang out. So we went, and I had my tuxedo I had from choir, because we were all given tuxedos to wear for choir. So it was nice. I had my own thing. I think Vinny had a suit that his parents got, like they rented.
It was a blue suit, I know that.
Yeah, it was blue.
He looked like, it was funny because in that picture you guys took, he looks like a mafia boss because he's in the middle.
But and then Connor forgot, he didn't have any formal wear, and so he just wore a t-shirt and just fucking athletic shorts or whatever. Then Vinny's dad was like, I have a trench coat you could borrow, and he gave him a trench coat to wear. And so we go to prom, and we just hang out, and the food there was terrible because it's fancy food, which no one likes. And we danced for a little bit because Connor's really good at dancing.
Yeah, he is.
And then we were
when you guys got there, you took the trench coat off, so you're just wearing a normal shirt and sweatpants.
It's because they kind of wanted you to wear formal wear
when
you entered. But as soon as you entered, they didn't care anymore, so he just took his trench coat off because it was super hot.
Yeah.
And
it was also getting close to summer, too, so...
So we took a photo, So I have my photo from prom in my room, and then we left, and Connor drove because he had his license, because I don't think me and Vinny had our licenses yet, and we were hungry, and it was pretty late. I think it was like 10.
Yeah.
And we were hungry because we didn't really eat anything at prom, because then we didn't like any of the food. So we looked up all these places. Everywhere was like closed because it's late. And we look, and it was like Popeyes. It's like it's open. We're like, all right, we'll go to Popeyes, I guess. So we go to Popeyes. No, it's closed. I'm like, all right. And then we found there's Wendy's. Wendy's was open.
Yeah.
So we pull up to the Wendy's, and Vinny asked Connor, "Do you mind if he asks to get like 2 chocolate chip cookies, like 2 large chocolate chip cookies?" And Connor rolls the window down, saying, "Hello, welcome to Wendy's. What can I get you?" And he says the order. He's like, "Can I get 2 large cookies?" And the person on the speaker is like, "What kind of cookies?" And he goes, "Large."
Large.
And I remember we lost it. We were just laughing, and I think Vinny was like, "It's chocolate chip. You gotta say chocolate chip." And he's like, "Oh, chocolate chip. I'm sorry." And then as soon as he pulled away, we were just laughing. He's like, "Guys, shut up," or like whatever. Because the thing that got us wasn't because he said 2 large cookies. It was because what kind? Large. Large. Oh man, that was so funny.
Oh man.
Large.
Have you ever had an embarrassing moment happen when you were around friends?
No.
I have.
Because I don't get embarrassed that much.
So, I was with Sam. You already know this, obviously, but I was with Sam and our other friend Andrew, and we went to Costco to get a pizza because we were having a hangout. We were at Vinny's for some reason. I don't know if it was I think we were just hanging out.
Yeah.
And we went to Costco to get a pizza, and I just remember oh man. This is so if you've never been to Costco, they have a food court, and how their food court works is that you go to a kiosk and then you tap what you want, you pay for it, then the food court will get a receipt with the order number and what the order is, and then when they get it ready, they'll call your number, and then you go pick it up. But for whole pizzas, it takes a while because they say, like a whole cheese to go, that kind of thing. You have to wait for it to cook, and then they give it to you.
Yeah.
So it takes about like 5 to 10 minutes. It's not too bad. But we're there, and we're just like waiting. And then when they called my number, for some reason I got really excited. And I just went, yay! I went, yay! When it was, oh my god. And it was, I obviously meant it as like a joke just between us. I accidentally did it too loud, and the entire fucking store heard me. Everybody was staring at me. Andrew and Sam just start laughing. The people in the food court are laughing. I just grab my food, like, I'm sorry about that. Andrew, why did you do that? Like, I don't know. I just.
See, the problem with me is like, I don't get embarrassed. So like,
here's the thing. Normally, I would be okay, but that's where I work.
Yeah.
So everybody there knows me.
Yeah.
So of course, when I showed up to work the next day, everybody asked me, what are you doing that for? I'm like, I don't know. I told one of my coworkers about it, and they said, Evan, I think you might be retarded. I'm like, yeah.
Because I'm usually the one that does shit that embarrasses people. Like, if I'm hanging out with like somebody, and it's like, hey, I'm gonna do this. It'll be funny.
When we went to McDonald's, and you went into empty corner and just started laughing.
I was just about to talk about that. And we went to our McDonald's, and for some reason, because they renovated the McDonald's, for some reason there's just a corner in the McDonald's that's like just a corner with nothing in it. And I think it's because that's where the soda machines used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked at, I think because we were there, I don't remember who we were there with, and I said, that kind of looks like an insane room. Like, it would be funny, like, I just walked into the corner and just started going, just in the corner. And then I turned around, I'm like, how was that? Was I convincing like an insane guy? And I think like Sam was like, "Oh, hey, can you do it again? I'm like record." I'm like, "All right, sure." So I just did it like the exact same thing. Just in the corner, just like, and I think I don't remember who else was there. Like, bro, stop doing that. You get people looking at you.
There was a bunch of us. I think we were like the only ones in that McDonald's that weren't employees.
I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, it's not. Like, what are they gonna be like? What are you doing? You know, like they don't. I don't care.
But, that's so stupid.
What?
So, I did. So recently I did a bad thing in Detroit. I shouldn't be talking about this, but I'm going to. So, back in the beginning of June, I went with my friends Andrew and Sam to a Tigers-Cubs game in Detroit. And, of course, I'm a Tigers fan. We won 2 of the 3 games in that series, and I go to the game we lose. I mean, you could tell I'm a Tigers fan by my hat in that picture, but I was leaving Detroit. I see this fat person. I just look at it, man, put down the donut, goodness sake. That was terrible. You know what Tyler said? Because I told him, because the next day we went to that NASCAR race, I told him about it, and then when he was here last week, he says, "You know what, Evan? Every time if I'm at work if I see a fat person, that's what I think of that every time. I always think of put down the donut. I always think of that. I'm like, God damn it! Put down the donuts. I do. In the heat of the moment, I did it. I was pretty frustrated about a couple things because the team didn't show up, looked like ass, and also there was this asshole in the parking garage that thought he was in control and tried to cut me off until I said no, and I was pissed off about that. So I feel bad about it now, and I heavily apologize, but it was pretty funny.
It was pretty funny. It is pretty funny. Hey, put down. That's kind of like the Red Robin thing, but like yours was worse because you actually said it to them. I mean, you didn't like say it directly to them, but you said it because you're in a car.
I said something funny. It's like, why would you say that to them? I said, well, what are they gonna do? Catch me? Yeah.
Oh my god. What are they gonna do? Catch me?
That's terrible. That's terrible. I apologize. If you're fat, I'm sorry.
If you're fat, I have one thing to say.
Be like Joe Biden. Look, listen, fat. Look here, fat.
Look here, fat. Yeah. Look here, fat. Put.
You know what we need to talk about? We need to talk about mug and bops.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, so there's. I don't know if it's I think I looked it up. There's only 12 mug and bops in existence, and they're all in Michigan.
Oh, okay.
So, Mug and Bops is a Michigan-style gas station, and it's only like the eastern part of Michigan. So, the only time we go there is because if we're going to Detroit or Ann Arbor for something. Detroit for, I don't know, like, if I'm going to like a Lions or a Tigers game, and Ann Arbor for Michigan stuff.
Yeah.
Or the first time, actually, I need to talk about the Michigan Panthers game trip. because that was one of the craziest stuff. You weren't there, unfortunately. You missed out, but
I missed out because A, I didn't care, and B, even if I wanted to go, there wasn't enough space in the car.
But so here's what happened. So
Was that the first time we went to Mug and Bob's?
That's the first time we discovered it. So my humor was pretty messed up because at this point I had only slept for 3 of the last 30 hours. Because the previous day we were all at Vinny's and we stayed up till 6 a.m. because the game it was a night game, so we didn't have to leave till the afternoon, so it didn't matter how late we stayed up. But when my friend Logan woke me up at 9 a.m. to show me this video that wasn't even funny.
Dude.
So I only slept for 3 hours. And then we go so we're on the road, and I'm not going to lie, I've told people I'm pretty sure I had COVID during that, because I did not have a sense of taste.
Man, you're just spreading.
Well, nobody else got sick. So, and because we were going along I-94, and Vinny was like, oh, I need gas. So he pulls off on this exit, and we see this gas station called Mug and Bob's, and none of us have heard of this before. Like, what the hell is Mug and Bob's? So we go in there. There's this random ass table, like a restaurant booth on the corner. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, what? Somebody gonna have their first date here?
Yeah.
I said, next time in a relationship, I'm gonna take them to Mug and Bob's, and we gotta go all the way to Chelsea, Michigan.
You get a custom shirt that says
2.5 hours away.
You should get a custom shirt that says Mug and Bob's since whatever year them
2022, I think. Or maybe it was 23, I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was, I don't know.
Going to Mug and Bob's since 2022. Kind of like I have that shirt for my fantasy team.
Yeah. So, I apologize if I keep yawning. It's 1 a.m. So, we go there, and also they had a loaf of bread. And then Andrew picks it up as if he's going to buy it. And I just think it's the funniest fucking thing in the world. Yeah. Because, like I said, I'm extremely sleep deprived. Because I barely slept. So I started laughing out loud in the gas station. I was embarrassed because I looked like an idiot, but I just couldn't stop laughing. And then we were in line.
Like what kind of laugh?
It's like a normal laugh. I was like that kind of thing. It was funny. And you're like, can you stop laughing? I said, I'm trying. I can't.
Oh my god.
And Andrew kept flipping people off on the road. We're like, Andrew, you're gonna have somebody pit maneuver us.
We're gonna get killed.
Because it was me. It was Vinny drove. Logan was in the passenger seat. In the back seat was me, Connor, and Andrew.
Yeah.
Forgot Connor was there because he was he doesn't care about sports, but he just wanted to go.
He just wanted to be with the boys.
And
that's just because he's a cool dude.
So we get to the game. Honestly, the game, we didn't really care. The trip there and back was more memorable than the game.
Really?
Michigan Panthers sucked. They got blown out.
Man, that's great.
So we leave there. It's pretty late. And
what time was it?
It was 10 o'clock when we left.
Okay.
It's a 3-hour drive to get back. Mm-hmm. So we're driving, and no offense to Vinny whatsoever, but I don't know now, but back then it was really hard for him to stay in the lane. Yeah. So
he's gotten a lot better.
Now, since I had barely gotten any sleep at all in the last 2 days, I slept 3 hours in the last 2 days at this point. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm going to try to get some sleep in the back seat. But every 30 seconds, Vinny went over the rumble strips and stayed over it for 20 seconds straight. At one point, I'm like, hey, Vinny, do you think you could, stop driving over the rumble strips, please? And then to make matters worse, all of a sudden, a horrible thunderstorm starts. Visibility is horrible. Vinny keeps on trucking though.
Was it even like if the wipers are on full speed?
Yes, it was that bad.
Like it was
even
that
and
bad.
it make matters worse. It's night.
Yeah, it's night.
So
and we're also
it's at this point it's like midnight. And
like, were you on like a main road or like on a?
We were on a main road. We had gotten off the interstate. And we got onto. It was a highway. It wasn't the interstate. It was a highway.
I was gonna say because if you're on a side road, you have to look out for deer.
Well, and Vinny. I remember vividly. At one point, Vinny said, "I literally cannot see anything." And I said, just pull over on the shoulder and wait for the rain to let up. He goes, no, it's okay. I'm like,
no, we'll just die.
I looked at Andrew and I mouthed, we're going to die.
Yeah, we're going to die. We're going to die.
And then to make matters worse, instead of just staying on the highway, he decides to get on a side road
now you have to worry
where it's still raining, and it just happened to be a dirt road.
Yeah.
And Andrew's like, if a deer just jumps out in front of us, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Luckily, though, we got home okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, oh my goodness, that was an experience.
You were writing your last will and testament.
But for Mug and Bops, after that, we made it a tradition that every time we go over there, we stop at Mug and Bops.
Yeah.
And I literally went there when we went to Tigers game with Andrew and Sam. We stopped there, and Andrew went pee in the women's restroom.
Why?
Because the men's room was taken, and he was waiting, and the lady at the counter said, "You can go in the women's room. It's okay."
What if some woman was waiting?
That would have been really funny.
Also, Andrew comes up. Hey.
She's like, I told him that. I said, what if you're in there and there's some woman needs to go to the restroom and the door opens and a man walks out.
Morning.
Morning.
Good day to you, sir.
But yeah, last time I went there, I just bought a Monster, and
he went. Argh.
Went.
No, you got the drinky.
I did. But that was that trip. I just remember, Jesus. I just remember the car ride there and back being way more memorable than the whole reason why we went.
Yeah. Just because it's the way back was we're gonna die.
Well, the way there was cool too.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
Hanging out with the dudes. I haven't really been through any car rides that I felt like I was like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because
but
the last one I went to was when me and Vinny went to Detroit. He drove.
Yeah.
Which he's gotten a lot better. He doesn't drive on rumble strips and that anymore.
Yeah.
So it was fine, just chill. And just the only part that was that kind of sucked was it kind of the next day when we were coming back home, it took forever to get home just because we went to this mall, and then we were gonna eat in the mall, but everywhere we would look was way too expensive, so we just had to find somewhere else to eat. And it was just
yeah.
And it was already kind of late, and it's gonna take 3 hours to get back.
Yeah, because you guys didn't get back till 11. At one point I was like, Jesus Christ! I'm like, the game ended at 3 o'clock.
Yeah. Because after the game ended, I don't remember. I think after the game ended, we just went. We was just I don't remember what we did. I think we just we went to I think we went to the mall and we were there for a bit, and then we just drove back, and then we ate at Red Robin somewhere. And then after we ate the Red Robin, it was
you probably went to the one in Dearborn.
And then after that, it was we still got a few hours till we get back, and it was pretty late because we were in there for a little bit.
Yeah.
The way there was annoying though because it was raining. It was raining the entire time.
Yeah.
And it was like, and everybody was all super slowed down, and we were just sitting there waiting and having to go. And there was this one, oh my, I forgot about this. There was this one dude that we saw was, you know how you're talking about how Vinny would drive on the rumble strips for like a little bit and then get off?
Yeah.
There was a guy that was in front of us that was just on the right, very right lane on the rumble strips for, I swear to God, like 20 minutes.
Maybe the sound stimulates him.
And then, like, he's on the right, and then here comes a merge lane, and this guy's trying to merge on, but he can't merge because this idiot is in the freaking... He's, like, in the middle of the merge and the lane because he's on the rumble strips, and it's just like, what are you doing? Then he honked at him. Because he deserved it, because he's being an idiot.
Yeah.
Driving on the rumble strips. I think the guy, like, kind of looked at us weird, and it's like, yeah, fuck you, dude. What are you doing driving on the rumble strips? This dumbass driving on the rumble strips. I think the only time I was in a car and I felt like I was in danger was when we were going to that Metallica concert. And because I was with Dad. And the only reason why was because we were stopped, and there was a semi that was coming up behind us that wasn't stopping.
Yeah.
And it was literally got to the point where the truck had to swerve off the road in order to not crash into us. Because I remember Dad was like freaking out. He's like, this truck's kind of coming up. He's like, this truck. Wait, and then it's just this fucking semi just comes barreling toward us, and just this fucking.
It's okay.
I remember just sitting there, just being like, I looked and the semi drive right pad on the right. I'm like, oh, well, we almost died. The semi almost he was trucking. He was trucking through. He was probably like, oh shit!
But, dude, if that happened to me, because if it was like traffic, I probably would have gotten out and gone up to like, what the fuck are you doing? You realize you almost killed me, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, if you're doing this for a living, you need to be paying attention.
You get good. Get good.
Yeah.
But I remember me and Vinny and his family. His family invited me to go on a vacation with them to Pittsburgh, Gettysburg, and Baltimore, which was very nice of them, and I had a lot of fun. And I'll never forget, because we stayed in Pittsburgh first. The Pittsburgh hotel was awesome. It was awesome. Like, our room was great, because you know the stereotypical hotel room where you just have like your one room with two beds and then just like one bathroom.
Yeah.
Our room had a bed, a futon, and another room that had two beds, and it was awesome.
That's cool.
Me and Vinny had our own dedicated space, and then we went to the Gettysburg Hotel, and it was terrible. It sucked. The freaking our room's door was terrible. You know, because like they have like your key.
Yeah.
Like most of the time, our key just didn't work, and then whenever it did, you'd have to open the door like 0.5 seconds after you put the key on, or it just won't open. So a lot of time you just be sitting there just trying to get this door open, and it just wouldn't open. And then, because whenever I go to a hotel, I always try and swim in the pool because I like swimming in places. I don't know. I just think it's fun. So the Pittsburgh hotel's pool was great. It was big. It was like in a nice room, and the deepest part was 6 feet, which you never see. Usually the deepest part's like 5. So
yeah.
It was really nice because it was like, because I'm 6'2", so usually if I'm in like a hotel pool and I'm in the deepest part, it goes up to like, I don't know, maybe like my chest. But since we're at this in the Pittsburgh hotel pool, the water would come up to like up to my head, and it was nice because it's like, oh man, this is great. Because I had my goggles with me, so I would like dive underwater. We get to the Gettysburg Hotel. I don't know what the hell happened to their pool. Okay.
Yeah.
So you know how a pool is a rectangle?
Yeah.
So you know the state of Nevada? You know how that state is shaped?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the pool was shaped like.
Okay.
And the pool's the furthest down the pool got was 3 feet. And it wasn't like a pool where you have one side that's shallow and one side that's deep. It was like the pool got deeper in the middle, and the edges were not deep; they're shallow. And the water, you know how pool water is supposed to be clear?
Yeah.
This pool water, I swear, like I don't know what it looked like. You're swimming in milk, like it was just white.
Okay.
I don't know if if I got any disease by swimming in this pool, but like
Why did you swim in it?
we were curious. Okay, we get in the pool, and I had my goggles with me, and I went underwater because I wanted to see because we did a test. We got like right next to each other, and I went underwater, and I couldn't see him. That's like how cloudy it was. And I said, "All right, I'm not." So we gave up. I really wish I brought my phone with me so that I could have took a photo of it. I just can't believe that the pool was that bad. Just not deep, a really weird shape, and just water that is so cloudy that you couldn't see somebody that's like literal inches away from you.
Yeah.
Like I've never experienced that anywhere except there. And then we go to the Baltimore hotel, which was a good hotel. It was like your stereotypical hotel.
Yeah.
Just your stereotypical room, and then your stereotypical hotel pool, rectangle, nice water, 5 feet. The only part that was annoying was there was obnoxious people at the pool.
Okay.
All these obnoxious people. Hey, want me now? Like all these annoying ass people.
Hey, why we not?
That's what they did. Hey, why we not? Like being all loud. Because the worst part of if you're super loud in a pool, you're just hurting everybody else because a pool room, you know how pool rooms are always usually very echoey.
Yeah.
So just like super loud. It's like, bro, can you shut up?
I remember in 2022 when we went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame with Logan, Andrew, and Vinny. Mm-hmm. Remember we were in that pool. In the hotel we stayed at, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were playing. Logan would throw us the football, and you would just jump up out of the water and just snag it every time.
Wouldn't Andrew chuck the ball at him as hard as he could?
Andrew, yeah. If Andrew got it, he would just chuck it back. That's how he is.
Just chuck it.
Andrew's like, "Here you go, Logan." He throws as hard as he can. I think he knocked something off the wall when he did that. It was. He's like, check this out.
That was kind of like, oh my god, that was like when we went to the spring game, and we were walking to the stadium.
Yeah.
And then we were on the sidewalk, and there was a car that was sitting there waiting. He waved us on.
Yeah.
And Andrew was in the middle of the pack. Cause we had how many people did we have with us? 6.
Yeah, 6 or 7.
We had 6 or 7. So Andrew's in the middle. For some reason, the guy, even though he waved us on, starts to go, and he literally hits Andrew. Not very hard, but he hit him.
He slightly hit him.
And then...
Andrew didn't fall down or anything.
I remember, because I was in the back, and then I remember just seeing Andrew kind of, stumble a little bit, then, I used to like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell happened? He's like, this guy waved us on, then he hit me with the car.
He flipped him off too and everything.
Oh yeah.
This guy hit me with his car.
Hit me with his car. Even though he waved us on, he hit me with his car. Oh man. Like he hit me with
that fucking stupid ref-ass call was ass. Oh, you're down. You're down. I got a finger on you. Blue was robbed.
Was that your favorite memory of Andrew right there?
That's one.
Blue was robbed.
Andrew's got a lot of good moments.
Yeah, that's what we could have been doing this whole time. All right, Tyler.
Okay.
What is your favorite memory?
My favorite memory of Tyler?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe when we went to that NASCAR race recently.
My favorite memory of Tyler was me and him when we watched Sex Tape.
Oh, yeah. I went to bed because I had to work early.
Yeah. We stayed up because it's a... Because I think Tyler, he talks about he likes to watch, like, terrible adult comedies.
Yeah.
So, he goes, do you want to, like, find some, like, crappy adult comedy to watch? Like, alright, so we went on Netflix. We found this one that's called Sex Tape. It was terrible.
Well, the first one you found was the first time I masturbated, and you could tell the movie was not filmed in English, because you could tell that the English dub was really off.
It was really bad. We found 2 movies before we found Sex Tape. The first one was the first time I masturbated, which, yeah, the problem with the first time I masturbated was that the English dub was awful. Like, you could tell. And then the other one, I don't remember what it was called, but it was the same problem, where it was, like, you'd have a character and their lips would be moving, and then after a while, like, the English guy, and it's, like, terrible, like, it's, like, terrible dubbing. It's like, what are you doing after school today? Like, super, like, robotic sounding.
Yeah.
And then we find Sex Tape, and then we looked it up before we watched it, and it's like, it's made in America. We're like, okay, this is going to be an actual, like, not dubbed over film. And we watched it, and it sucked. But I'll never forget my favorite memory was watching that movie with him, and the whole plot of the movie is that they make a sex tape and it accidentally gets uploaded to the internet, and they have to find a way to delete it. That's the whole plot.
Yeah.
So they go to, like, this porn company's, like, headquarters, because apparently it got uploaded to a porn site, and they are, like, they literally break into the building and are, like, messing with their servers, and then all of a sudden the character's in a hallway and they just hear, "Hey, you mind telling me what the fuck you're doing?" And it's just Jack Black. And it's like, and me and Tyler just looked at each other like, what the fuck? Jack Black's in this movie? Just Jack Black.
Hey, you want to tell me what the fuck you're doing?
It's just...
Lava!
Yeah.
Chicken! Oh my god.
And then another funny scene was they are in a house because they're trying to delete it from some guy's computer. And the main guy's getting chased by a dog.
Yeah.
So he's like running through the whole house, getting chased by this dog. And he finds a treadmill, and he turns the treadmill on to full speed. The dog jumps on the treadmill and gets launched across the room and ragdolls against the wall. And I remember me and Tyler started just losing our shit just because it's just this fucking dog gets just fucking launched at a wall.
Alright, I'm gonna say I think my favorite memory of Tyler was NASCAR race and that ride home with me, Tyler, and Braden. That ride home was probably the most fun I've ever had on a car ride.
Nice.
It was a 2-hour ride. It was just full of good times.
Yeah.
At one point, Braden kept turning my air on. And everyone was like, "Can you stop turning my fucking air on?" And they just lost. Every time Brandon turned it on, he would start giggling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Stop turning my air on, Brandon."
Stop.
Yeah. We've got a lot of great memories with Tyler in the last 10 years.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
I like, I remember when, because, like, recently we'll upload videos on our channel with him.
Mm-hmm.
I think my favorite one of us recording was when we did that bobsled minigame in Mario Party 2. Like, I ran him into the wall.
Yeah.
I hit him in the wall.
In the wall. Or one of my personal favorites will always be ho ho ho
Merry Christmas.
Just because we weren't expecting it at all.
Oh man. But my favorite memory of Ethan. Let's see. There's a lot of good moments. Honestly, I think my favorite memory with Ethan was when he and I watched the Michigan State game in 2023 with his grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when Ethan and I go to that concert in September, maybe that will become my favorite memory.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question for you.
What?
What is the best friend gathering you had? Like, what is your favorite friend gathering you went to that you didn't host? Because I feel like the best ones are the ones that you don't host.
Yeah. I don't know if I have like an exact favorite. One of my personal one of the top was Connor's birthday. We went for Connor's birthday. It was when Detective Pikachu came out.
Yeah.
So we went to the theater and watched Detective Pikachu, and then we went back to his house, and his parents said that they were gonna be sleeping with earplugs in, so it didn't matter how loud we were. And we pretty much just had like the entire house to ourselves. We could just do whatever the hell we wanted. It was just so much fun.
Yeah.
Because they had a pool table there.
So much fun. So much fun.
And I remember, like, because this is before I didn't I didn't really know how to play pool like at all.
Yeah.
Of course, if I was there now, I'd actually play. I watched. It was Josh and Rain were playing pool.
I forgot about him.
They're playing pool, and I remember Josh was like watch this shot, and he hits the cue ball, and the cue ball got launched off the table.
All right, now watch this. I watch this.
But yeah, I don't know if I have like a favorite one, but there's a lot of just fun stuff.
I think my favorite one, or one of my favorites, was back in middle school. I used to be friends with these group of kids that I'm not friends with anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I went to my friend Harrison's house, and he had this guy. It was a whole bunch of people,
Mm-hmm.
and it was awesome. I remember we spent a lot of time. We played Rock Band 4.
Yeah.
I remember because Harrison was the one that got me into Guitar Hero, Rock Band, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, my copies of Rock Band 2 and 3 that I have are actually originally from him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he left them here, but he never asked for them back.
Yeah.
No, I guess you could have... I think I asked him... I said, hey, do you want... I said, hey, you left Rock Bands 2 and 3 at my house. You want them back? He goes, no, you can keep them. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's okay.
No, that's okay. You can have it. I remember... Because that was back... they were all into, Filthy Frank.
Yeah.
So, they would just watch, a bunch of his videos.
Hey, boss.
And then I remember at one point we went. There was this playground that was really close to his house.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were in middle school, so we weren't like little kids. We still went over there anyway and just hung out. It was really cool.
The playground. Did you bully anybody?
No, there was no one there. It was only us. Also, he wouldn't do that anyway.
Come on, you don't want to bully any little kids. Hey, what you do?
I remember both of his parents were really cool, which is unfortunate because both of them have passed on since.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was such a good time. I just remember thinking his house was cool. The only thing I didn't like was his two dogs were pretty obnoxious.
Yeah.
I actually have a scar on my face from one of his dogs biting me.
Well,
But it wasn't during that party. There was so many people, and even that one guy that ended up getting arrested in the future for having pictures of underage girls on his phone.
oh, yeah. Forgot about him.
But I gotta if I'm gonna go back to middle school, I have to mention the trio. It was me and then my two friends Gavin and Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we were really good friends during that time. It was to the point where every single Saturday we would hang out and we would alternate.
Yeah.
So like one weekend we would hang out here. The next weekend we would hang out at Gavin's house, and then the next weekend we would hang out at Bailey's house.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. Gavin's house was so awesome.
It's weird to think how much that Gavin impacted my life.
Yeah.
Because he's the
Gavin
reason-
introduced you to a lot of the things that you're really interested in now.
he introduced me to Steam and like TF2 and Gary's Mod was another one.
He showed me Town of Salem.
I learned about Town of Salem from Sam.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because I remember one
he
time...
also got me the Doctor Who, which I watched for a while, but then I quit.
I remember one time I went over to his house. They said, "Hey, have you ever heard of this game called Town of Salem?" I said, "No." And I played it, and I really liked it. I kind of wish I could go back to what Town of Salem used to be.
Yeah.
Before they made everything super complicated. But then I remember the first role I ever got was medium. Which the medium, if you never played that game, it's just like it's based on the Salem witch trials. You have to. There's like a town and there's evil guys in the town. There's 3 mafia members and 1 serial killer.
Yeah.
And and if you're a town member, you have to try to kill. You kill the evil people by lynching them.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the mafia, then you need to kill everybody else so the mafia is staying. And if you're the serial killer, you have to kill everyone before they find you out.
Yeah.
But a medium is one of the town members, and all they do is just talk to the dead. It's like the worst role in the game. But
it's to the point where there's literally a thing. It was called medium curse because medium would always die like immediately.
medium would always die first night. Anyway, but I think the biggest thing Gavin got us into was Five Nights at Freddy's.
Well, I kind of was into I kind
little
of
bit
knew about it a little bit, but
I didn't even know it was a thing until he told me about it.
But yeah, because he played it, and I remember like, oh yeah, that Five Nights at Freddy's game and whatever.
When I first discovered...
Five Nights at Freddy's poster on the wall.
When I first discovered... we just sold him and make naked!
We just sold him and make naked!
But, when I first got into Five Nights at Freddy's, the most recent game was FNAF 2. So I was in 7th grade. It was late 2014, so I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
And I remember, man, good memories. And I remember Gavin and I would always talk about it. And then when FNAF World came out, remember when FNAF World came out, I went over to his house and we just played it until we beat it.
I always talked about FNAF for Logan and Christian.
Oh, yeah.
In the day, yeah.
It's like, do you think in the year 2025 we'll see the Mimic naked? It's like,
we We just showed him a McKnight, kid.
Now with Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm not into it anymore. The only time I think about FNAF is, I think when Ultimate Custom Night came out in 2018, I think that's the last time. I think after that, I kind of got out of it. I didn't really care for it much anymore.
I follow
I still like this series. I still think fondly of the old games. But
yeah, especially
I don't follow it religiously like I used to. Like, I remember when FNAF Sister Location came out back in 2016. We were like, oh my god.
Yeah, I remember back then always constantly being looking on the website. Anything new? Anything new? And then there's nothing. It's like, oh. I don't follow FNAF like as hardcore as I used to. I mean, I still like whenever like a new game comes out, I usually just like watch someone play it.
Well, I mean, that's what FNAF fans do. They don't play the game. They just watch somebody play it on YouTube.
I played the first game and the second game, FNAF 6 and FNAF World. And then
you know what's funny? Ethan and I today, during we were recording Galaxy 2, he asked me, what is a game that you like that nobody else does? I said FNAF World.
FNAF World.
I said FNAF World is not a good game, but I really like it.
I do really like FNAF World. I mean, we have a 6-hour video on it.
Yeah. And it's not like nothing bad happened between us. It's just once we got to high school, we just had a falling out.
Yeah, it's just you just don't.
I remember one of my favorite times with Gavin was, I remember we were in middle school. I was at his house. His parents weren't there, and we just spent the whole time. We were binge watching the show Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh yeah.
Which, that's a good show. Which, fun fact, the guy that played Malcolm is a NASCAR driver. He's in the Truck series.
That's funny.
Yeah, once we just got to high school, it's had a bit of a falling out, which was it's unfortunate, but I am happy with my group of friends today. Like, Ethan, Tyler, and Braden, I was friends with in middle school, and I was good friends with Tyler just because he lived really close to us. I don't think I really took off in that friendship with Tyler and Ethan and Braden until we got to high school. Yeah. Well, Braden, I kind of put in quotes. I kind of like, Braden was like a cool friend. I think it was kind of just like an acquaintance because he never really hung out with him except when we were in school because he was always so busy. But I don't think I've become really close with Braden in the last year.
Yeah.
Like the last couple years, but
that's cool. You chill.
Oh yeah, like he and I will text. He actually texted me today saying, "Dude, did you see what just happened in the College World Series?" I said, "No, what?" Because the Coastal Carolina's manager and first base coach got ejected. I'm like, "Oh damn."
Okay.
Yeah, Braden's a really cool guy.
Yeah. What is your favorite memory with Braden?
Pentwater trip was fun. The times we hang out, watch NASCAR races at Tyler's. When we went to the race,
yeah,
it's really cool. I got one for you. What is your favorite memory with Vinny?
Probably like vacation. We went to Pittsburgh and everywhere else. Probably other favorite moments are like, and you're gonna make fun of me, like playing Fortnite with him back in the day.
Back in like 2020?
Mm-hmm.
Back during COVID when you were in quarantine? Because that was during that really good season.
Yeah. I mean, I still have a lot of fun playing, because you guys are going to call me a nerd or whatever. I still play Fortnite. Fuck you.
Nathan, you're not. Nathan, a lot of people play Fortnite.
No. I had it. I'm an OG.
I am an OG.
I've been playing since season
2018. Yeah, I remember you started playing Fortnite when it came out on the Switch.
No, I played it on the Xbox for like a little bit.
Well, I remember when it came out on the Switch, because when we watched that, it was E3 2018 when Nintendo announced that Fortnite was coming to the Switch. That was when you really started to play it.
I quit playing it on the Xbox because Microsoft made it so you had to pay to play online for free games.
No,
which is not how it is anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They changed it. And then I switched to the Switch. I switched to Switch because Nintendo didn't make it so you didn't have to get Nintendo Switch Online to play free games online, which was nice. And so I played Fortnite Switch for I don't even know how long. It was a long time. And
you had thousands of hours on Switch Fortnite.
Yeah. Just playing with Vinny and just like I remember like getting my first win, being all like super excited during season 7 and like just playing with him and going through all like those live events and stuff and being like, what's gonna happen, you know, like that kind of thing, and just it was a lot of fun. Cause I hadn't really had like a game that got me excited like about like stuff like that ever since like FNAF.
Yeah.
Because FNAF was like I remember always just talking to people like, oh man, what's the next game gonna be like, or like always theorizing about stuff. And then for Fortnite it would always be like, man, what's the next season gonna be like? What are the Battle Pass people gonna be like? Is it gonna be fun? You know, like whatever else. Just a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fun. But if it was like an actual
so much
like,
fun
with him thing, then our trip to Pittsburgh, Gettysburg, and Baltimore is my favorite because I had a lot of fun. We did a lot of cool stuff.
I remember back when I was friends with Gavin and Bailey. I remember it was summer before we started 8th grade, and Gavin's mom took me, Gavin, and Bailey to Michigan's Adventure, that theme park in Muskegon.
Yeah.
And it was a really good time, except we went on this roller coaster called Shivering Timbers, which is like the biggest one there. And I did not like it at all. Not because I'm scared of like heights, it's because I have a problem with motion sickness. So it made me extremely dizzy, and I felt like I didn't feel good. I felt like nauseous the rest of the day.
But it
was still a great time.
And Vinny said he wanted to go to Universal. He wanted to take us to Universal.
Yeah, because of Nintendo World.
And I said, if you want to go on any like rides, we're not, because Evan can't. And I said, I don't like them. And he said, oh, don't worry, I don't like roller coasters at all. And I said, oh, okay.
Yeah, which sucks because I think roller coasters are cool. It's just I just can't do it. It makes me extremely nauseous, and I would just be miserable.
I mean, roller coasters are fine. It's just like I don't know. It's just I've never found them like very fun. And I mean, I've always preferred like water rides. Water rides are fun. Like whenever I remember, like Sam would take me and then his dad, and we would all go to Kalahari. And oh man, Kalahari is so much fun.
Isn't that in Ohio?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly where it is. It's in Ohio.
Isn't it by Cedar Point?
I don't know exactly where it is. It's in Ohio somewhere.
Okay.
But I remember because I went there twice with them. The first time, I remember they asked me like, "Do you want to go like Kalahari, this water park?" Which I never been to. I never went to a water park before, and I was kind of like nervous at first, kind of like, well, what if I don't like these rides? Dude, oh my god. Kalahari's rides are oh man, they're great. Just like there's so many highlights. Like I think when we went there, we rode on pretty much like every single ride that was there. Except when the first time I went, I was a pussy and didn't want to go on this one ride. And then the second time I went on that ride and I was like, it wasn't even that bad.
Yeah.
There was only one ride that me and Sam refused to go on. And it was one of those ones where they get you inside a tube and they drop you.
Okay.
We just didn't want to. We went on pretty much every other ride. And it was great. Just there's all these great slides and like going down tubes and stuff. And we got... I'll never forget, we were waiting in line for our favorite ride there, which was the Swahili Swirl.
Yeah.
Which the Swahili Swirl was a ride where you're in this big tube, like 4-person big tube. You go down the slide, and then you go down like a curve, and then you end up in like a toilet bowl kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know the scene in Polar Express when they're going down, like, and they're in the Santa's workshop, and they're going down the slide, and then they end up in that?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Okay.
So you end up in like the big, like, toilet bowl, and then you go down the middle, and then that's it.
Okay.
But that ride was awesome. We went in line one time, and we were real close to like getting our turn, and there was this lifeguard guy, like worker. He was the guy who would like push you down. There was these women that he was trying to like, you know, be like, yeah, like whatever.
Oh, he's trying to riz him up.
Yeah, his riz failed because he slipped and almost went down the slide.
Damn.
I remember he was like doing, I don't remember what he was doing because we didn't like hear him or anything, but he was just kind of doing like, yeah, like whatever. And then he was on the slide and he slipped and almost went down. He had to like grab a handle to stop himself.
That's embarrassing.
I think me and Sam were just kind of like, "Buh," like laughing at him.
I think my favorite story of you and like your group of friends that I wasn't there was because all you guys your freshman year you all had gym together.
Yeah.
And then your teacher tried to have you guys play Bacher ball. And sorry guys, today we're gonna play Bacher ball, which is just a mix of basketball and soccer. And then you just thought it was the fun. You just started laughing, and you're like the only one.
Yeah, because
everybody else is just looking at you.
I'll never forget because we were all gathered in the gym, and then she looks at us and she goes, "Okay, guys, who's ready to play Bacher ball today?" And I lost my shit. I never heard of Bacher ball, and I thought the name was hilarious. So I'm just in the background going,
yeah,
in the back, and everyone kind of turns and looks, and then she turns and she gives me the most like disappointed look of just like all pissed, just because I'm just sitting in the back going. In the back. They still talk about that. I remember another.
Yeah, we'll bring it up sometime.
That was great, just because I had like literally all my friends were in that class, and it's the only time that's ever happened. So it just made those classes just so much better, just because they had like everybody there. It was awesome.
I remember I had Tyler and Ethan for Jim's senior year, and I think I talked about this in the school stories video, but I remember I had Tyler and Ethan on my team in football, and then we were like, all right, Tyler, just because they doubted us because, you know, we're not athletic. Yeah. And we're like, all right, Tyler, just do your thing. Tyler just runs, and he mosses the hell out of a guy. And then just scores touchdown.
That's like, I feel like I talked about this in school stories as well. That's kind of like when we were playing line ball and I intercepted the ball with one hand.
Yeah.
Because I have giant hands.
Yeah, you do.
And because you know how it always is. Since you're not athletic, they always go like, "Ooh, you suck," or whatever. And I remember this one guy in particular was like, "Man, this guy sucks," or whatever. And he was the guy I got the interception off of.
Mm-hmm.
And I caught the ball with my hand. I just kind of just looked at him with this look of like, yeah, what do you think now? Kind of like.
But I remember. Okay, I forgot.
You don't remember anymore.
Well, I don't remember what I was gonna say.
But
Oh.
Okay. Okay, you got it.
Yeah, it was like just because it was like when we were playing kickball. Some guy tried to explain to me the rules. I'm like, dude, I know how baseball works. I'm literally wearing a Detroit Tigers shirt. I'm quite literally a fan of baseball.
Yeah.
I know how it works, dude. Just because I don't play for the school doesn't mean I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Oh, so this is how it works.
Well, you're trying to tell me if they catch the ball, you have to go back. So, dude, I know. Like I watch baseball.
It's always annoying when they do that. You have to go back if the I know how it works. I'm not stupid. Just because they just assume you don't know anything just because you're not athletic. It's like, bruh.
But yeah, that was, and then when we played kickball senior year. Ethan, I know you're gonna be watching this, and no offense, but Ethan was not very good at kickball. Like, he would drop everything, but he always caught the damn ball when I was kicking.
It's like he knew. He waited specifically until you.
Tyler and Ethan played a shift in the outfield, and every single time Ethan always caught. He never caught anybody else's but mine, and it was so aggravating.
Like, the fuck, dude? Can you stop catching mine? Alright, girl batter. Bring it in.
Alright, bring it in.
Hit it, babe. You know, babe.
Alright, back it up.
Yeah. Alright, what is your favorite, birthday party that you ever went to?
So when I was in 5th grade, I knew this kid. His name was Dylan.
Dylan Dingler?
Not Dylan Dingler, no. The best MLB catcher of 2025.
I didn't know you're chill with him.
Well, he's not the best, like, batting wise, but he's got the best. He's best defensive catcher.
Yeah.
But he, I was acquaintances with him because 5th grade was the first year we moved to the different town, and I knew him. Like, we were acquaintances, and he said he invited me to his birthday party. Because, the year started September. I started talking to him then. His birthday was in March. So I got invited. And he said it was at his house. And I just remember going over there. And their basement, despite the fact it was cluttered with Notre Dame shit, their basement was so cool. There was 4 TVs down there in each corner, and each one had, like, different game consoles.
Yeah.
So, like, there was one TV that had, like, this was 2013, so there was one that had the, like, early 2013. So there was one that had the, like, an Xbox 360, because the one didn't exist yet.
Yeah. There
was one with PlayStation. I don't know if it was the 4 or the 3. Probably the 3. I don't think PS4 existed yet.
Mm-hmm.
There was one that had a Wii U because that was the newest Nintendo console at the time. And there was older consoles too. And it was just cool. We would just play all of them. And we went outside, and I remember we played Ghosts in the Graveyard, which was the first time I ever played it. And it was the very beginning of March, so there was snow.
Yeah.
And I remember it was a lot of fun. There were some people I knew from school. There was a couple other kids there that didn't go to the school with us, but Dylan was friends with, and they were cool guys.
Did you slip and fall?
I think so. No, I didn't get hurt. But, and then I remember we ended the night watching this movie called Friday Night Lights, which is not a movie that 10-year-olds should be watching.
Friday Night Funkin'?
No. Friday Night Lights.
You know?
Mm-hmm. We watched a movie called Friday Night Lights, which is about high school football. It's not a movie that 10-year-olds should be watching.
Why?
There's a sex scene in it.
Oh.
And
like how graphic?
No, it's not, but not really. But it's
Like-
not.
like
it's still
like-
not something a 10-year-old kid should be
Like
watching.
Terminator-esque, like just
Well, you didn't see anything.
Yeah.
The girl was shirtless,
so Terminator.
but you couldn't. But no, because you didn't see her tits.
Oh.
You could see her tits in Terminator, but you couldn't see it in that movie.
Okay, so like
I remember that country singer Tim McGraw was in that movie. He
Tim
played as some,
McGraw?
huh?
Tim McGraw.
Yeah, he played as some guy's dad, and he was kind of a jerk. He was like an asshole dad in the movie. I don't remember. That's the only time I've ever seen that movie.
McGraw Hill.
No. Anyway,
School.
can you let me talk? So we slept. Next morning, we did more stuff, and I remember while everybody else was outside, me and this other kid were downstairs playing this zombie game on the Wii U, which is not a game 10-year-old should be playing. But,
Was it like shooting?
Yeah, it was like shooting, killing zombies, that kind of stuff. I could not tell you what it's called. This was so long. This was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I just remember leaving, and I was just like, wow, that was awesome. And I never went back over there again.
Wow. Dylan just didn't like it.
Well, he was like, I'll invite you guys back over for my birthday next year, but by that time I wasn't friends with him anymore.
Yeah. Yep. That happens.
It was a really cool house. Obviously, his parents had a bit of cash on them, but you could tell just by going to his basement, it was huge, and there was so much cool stuff down there.
I remember one time I went over to Sam's house, and it was me and him and Lucas were there, and it was a little bit like, maybe like a little late, not like too late, and I don't know what brought it up, but they were talking about Battle for Dream Island.
Oh my God, BFDI! Who could forget?
And I have never heard of it, and I was like, they're like you don't know Nathan Avery like that. I'm like, I've never heard of that. They just kind of looked at me like, you've never heard of BFDI? So we literally we binged the entire series, and we stayed up like super late just watching it.
That was so cool, but the ending kind of sucked.
Yeah, it did.
I remember watching that when you showed it to me. We were watching. I was like, I really liked it, but I remember being very disappointed by the ending.
Yeah, the ending was not good.
But whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I think this video's gone on for a pretty long time. I don't think it's been 2 hours. I don't think this was as long as the last one, but
we didn't have as much wide ranges of stuff that we could talk about as we did for the school.
Is there something as well? Is there one last thing you can think of to talk about?
I don't know.
Okay. I think that's gonna be it. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and maybe give us ideas for stuff we could talk about in the future. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.